Good morning, everybody. It is Syra, and this is Syra Gets Fit. So this morning, I am having a little bit of a veggie scramble. There's potatoes, mushrooms, zucchini, onions, and tomatoes in there, and I used the Just Egg that I found yesterday, and then the last everything bagel with Daya cream cheese.
Okay, we should do less eating and more talking.
Less eating and more talking? When I was a kid, you used to say less talking and more eating.
Well, that was at the dinner table. You're at the filming.
At a fold-out card table?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a type of video called mukbang, where it's a Korean word, mukbang. I don't know if I'm...
No, really?
Yeah. Ouch. I just broke my nail. But it's basically sitting down and eating.
That's it?
I don't know if it's specifically eating on camera, but you sit down and, well, on YouTube.
Yeah, because I prefer to eat on plate.
I know it might be uncomfortable to eat on a camera, huh?
Yeah.
Basically people sit and eat on camera and talk about whatever. Some people don't talk at all. They just eat and crunch. So it's kind of a mukbang ASMR sort of thing. And then there are other ones like Stephanie Soo, S-O-O, and she talks about murder mysteries while she does her mukbang and eats. Some people talk about up-to-date current events. Some people gossip. So it's a wide variety of...
I don't like to repeat gossip. That's why I say it only once. You better be listening.
My mom's being a comedian. I'm still not sure if I completely like the Daya, but
It's
okay-ish.
It's passable.
My mom says it's passable. If anybody out there has a better idea for a vegan cream cheese, please let me know. The texture is fine, but the flavor and the smell is still not comfortable. If you get what I mean. Oh, there's also vegan sausage in here.
Yes, there is. That's good stuff.
So today, after the issue we had yesterday, we still have to go down and get the rest of the stuff out of my mom's storage. And I don't know if we have a lot else planned for today. I know this week I'll be busy because I have to work on charging 2 car batteries and getting the cars over to the junkyard to swap them in for a little bit of money. And I was told that if I could drive them over there, I'd probably get more money for them than if I just had them come and tow them. So I am going to be working on that, and then I have to get some...
You have to put the trickle charger on the lawnmower.
Oh, yeah. So a trickle charger on the lawnmower so we can start using that next weekend after an oil change and the maintenance or proper maintenance that you do. And then I have to get probably some more storage containers or little plastic bins and start emptying out my RV as much as I can by myself. So that can go too. And then hopefully the issue that I told you about last night, hopefully that will get that issue to at least
partial resolution.
Yeah, partial resolution. I love that my mom is here to help me with words, because words sometimes escape me. And I haven't brushed my hair this morning, that's why I keep on messing with it. I usually do it before I get on camera, but not yet. Alright, everybody. I will check in again later. And
Ciao, babies.
as my mom said, ciao, babies. After a good morning, nice, healthy, homemade breakfast, and we kind of just chilled for a little while today because I suggested to my mom that it might be, it might work well if we go down later to our storage area using both vehicles. Then we don't have to worry about forgetting any keys, because the keys are in her vehicle, and then she can just go home from there, because from that point she is like 7 minutes from home, and then I can go back north and stop at the fitness center and exercise. And I have to remember to give her her gloves. So one thing I'm like, okay, yeah, gloves need to go back to her. So we are heading south, and that's what we're up to now. Today, if I manage to be awake enough when I get home, I am planning on starting a series in addition to like my daily videos. I really want to do like a regular Monday mukbang, because it's nice to just sit down and chat and eat. And then this other series is going to be kind of my way of spreading some love out into the world, and also a good emotional health exercise, so to speak, but it's really all about just spreading love out into the world. Alright, my mom's coming up. I wonder if you can actually see her. See the blue van behind me? I'm trying to go a little slow until she gets right close, right on my tail, but not quite tailgating, because I hope she wouldn't tailgate. That is what I am heading out to do right now. I am probably going to record a little bit at the fitness center, because fun! I like it when I look like a tomato. Tomato! I like filming when I look like a tomato. Oh, and now it's starting to rain. No! Foiled by the rain. Alright. Rain and snow. Okay, weirdness all around. It's raining, but it's snowing. Minnesota weather. You never know what you're gonna get. And now we're driving into serious amounts of snow and rain. Alright. I'm going to stop filming so I can pay closer attention to this. And I'll see y'all later. It is now almost 8 p.m. The bike you see behind me is part of the last load of stuff from my mom's storage area in the cities. So that is now done and dusted and swept and photographed. So that is done. Another $138 a month back in my mom's pocket. And now we have a space 10 feet longer than the one she had down there for less than half the price. That's kind of awesome. That is truly kind of awesome. And it's closer to my mom's property, which makes that part easier. And next challenge. This week, besides the 67-day challenge, I am going to be working on charging batteries on 2 vehicles. I think I mentioned that this morning. I don't know how much of, at this time right now, I don't know how much of this morning's little bit that I'll be keeping, because a lot of it was me talking to my mom. But, so I have to charge the batteries on 2 vehicles and get them running well enough so I can drive them over to the junkyard and see what money he's willing to give me for them. And one of them I still have to finish cleaning out. It was my main vehicle until the one of the local mechanics completely effed it up. I don't know if I've mentioned it. I don't know if I kept that video, but I went in to have the heating and air conditioning looked at, because the knobs where you can change the direction of the air or the speed of the fan, I just spit, or the temperature, that was frozen up, and it's an issue with something not at the controls themselves, but deep underneath. And the direction to him was to fix it. Please fix this. Well, what they did, instead of fixing it so I could use the heat and the AC, they took it apart, bypassed it, and then sort of put it back together. And in the process, they also knocked out my, like where you put the phone charger. Used to be a cigarette lighter. I don't know how many of them are cigarette lighters anymore, but that doesn't work. The radio doesn't work, so somehow they messed that up as well. And it blows cold air, and that's it. And it's not like air-conditioned air, it's just cold air. Whatever temperature it is outside, that's the air that it's blowing. And for that, we paid like an ungodly amount of money for them to F up the car. And I figured it was going to cost about $700 for that to be fixed. But it was about $500, so almost $700. And it's messed up. So that local mechanic, one of the cars that we have was purchased from his shop, and when we got it, they said, oh yeah, it runs great, and they had just swapped out the transmission for another used transmission. And when we drove it, we noticed that there was a skip in second gear. And there was an extreme amount of rattle and bounce. Well, they told us to bring it back in with the transmission skip, and we did it 3 different times, but every single time the same guy test drove it and said, oh yeah, it's just fine, there's nothing wrong with it. But me, having some experience experience with fixing cars. If you take a vehicle that has transmission issues and you slam on the gas pedal so you speed up as quickly as possible, it just kind of slides through the middle gears. It doesn't really properly shift through all of those. And that's what he was doing. He was speeding up as quickly as he could so it would just slide through that. The last time we got somebody different and my mom drove the vehicle while the other person sat in the passenger side, and she accelerated the way one would sort of normally accelerate if the vehicle was theirs, and he noticed the fact that there was a skip. Well, he said, well, are you going to leave the vehicle with us right now? But I needed the vehicle at that time because she still had this one. So she said, no, not yet. And then the owner said he still had to test drive it, even though one of his people said, yes, there is a problem. And he says he guarantees his work, but because he didn't get a chance to test drive it himself, he wouldn't fix the problem. And every single time my mom took the vehicle to his place was to have him test drive it, but he kept on saying, oh, I got this other thing to do, I got this other thing to do, I got this other thing to do. So no matter how many times we took it there to get him to test drive it, it just... And then... Well, I hope I didn't miss my turn. Oh, that would be bad. I'll just head up to, I don't know, 169 goes up to Mille Lacs. I might as well go to Mille Lacs for the night. One of the other things that was wrong with this vehicle when we bought it is the suspension underneath. This one, I don't know if it was the front or the back axle, but I think it's in the center. There are supposed to be 4 bolts that hold it. Ooh, a little bit of an amber glow. But there are 4 bolts that hold the axle in some way, shape, or form. I've never been underneath the vehicle. I've done alternators and I've done serpentine belts and a few other things in the engine, but I've never done anything underneath. So I'm only trying to figure it out based on the description from the guy who fixed it. But there are supposed to be 4 bolts holding basically the axle onto the bottom of the car, so it can go safely down the road. I didn't miss my turn. Thank goodness. And we were wondering why there was so much bounce in the vehicle. There shouldn't have been that much bounce and rattle and shake. So we took it to this guy, Steve's Alignment or something, and my brother and I were there, and then we went to the restaurant that's right next to that for breakfast while he was fixing it. And when we went over there to pick the vehicle up after it was done, he was like, y'all are lucky. And we're like, what? What do you mean we're lucky? And he said 2 bolts were completely gone, just gone. One was in there, okay, and the other one was about to fall off. And it's not like something that happens in a couple of days. That takes a while, which means, and this was within 3 weeks of buying it from this mechanic. And had that like 3rd one fallen out, there would have only been one holding everything into place, and there's no way 1 bolt would be able to hold that. So the axle could have full on fallen off of that car while we're going like 55, 60 miles an hour down the road. And my mom went and talked to the owner and said, like, your people miss this. And the owner was just like, oh well. Like, seriously, we could have died. And he was like, oh well. So yeah, never, ever, ever, ever going back to that place again. The only thing that they're good at is putting on tires and swapping out batteries. Those are the only two things that we've had them do that has come out sort of okay. On one of our vehicles, we had to have them fix a tailpipe. I'm like, I can take a wire hanger and loop it around something and keep the tailpipe up. I do not expect that sort of lack of, you know, I don't expect that from a professional. Oh my gosh. And then, oh, it's just the amount of things that they have. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. Anyway, I'm going to finish driving home. And now after I've had that little rant, I will bid you all adieu. And see you in the morning. Today wasn't great for exercise. I did get some steps in around the yard with my doggies, and then I did a little bit of like exercise with some weights inside, but nothing too strenuous at all. So this next week I have to be a lot better about that and get a bit more serious. I know the last time I like focused, and I'm talking about like ADHD hyperfocus. The last time I focused on getting healthy, I took off 40 pounds in 2 months, which is probably, you know, fast. That's 20 pounds per month. But I was exercising like crazy, and my food intake was around 1,500 to 1,700 calories. So I wasn't like cutting down significantly in the food department, but I was exercising like crazy. So I want to step it up, and get that hyper focus back. I don't necessarily want to try and lose 20 pounds a month, because I want this to be sustainable. I want this to be permanent. I don't want to have to do this. Don't want to do this yo-yo thing anymore. My goal is maybe 10 pounds a month, so 2.5 pounds a week. Not too terrible. It sounds like there's a bird in the back of the car now. So that's about how much I want to try to lose per month, about 10 pounds. And I think that's doable. So that I wish with ADHD that there was a way that I could like press hyperfocus. This is where I need to focus, and actually get that to work. That would be so nice. Because then I say, hey, let me focus on this. Press and pause, hyperfocus on something so I can hyperfocus on another item. Anyway, all the weird things that come to my brain. I don't know where they come from half the time. Alright, everybody, I love you all, and thank you for sticking with my craziness, my rambliness, my whimsical nature, my whatever. Thank you. I'll see you guys tomorrow.